Is going on?
There we go.
How many different
What is happening
countdowns
right
do we have in the store?
The suspense was killing me, man.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yo, seriously, I didn't know when we were going to start.
So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Swamp Creatures podcast. We are going live tonight, episode 13. Tim in the truck.
We're already on 13?
Yeah, we're already on lucky number 13, boys and girls. We made it this far. I know, it's tragic. How did we make it this far? All right, so and wait, we have our special guest coming in.
Hell yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend, Top Lobster. How you doing tonight, Brody?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Yeah.
Good,
What up,
good.
Lobster?
How about
What
yourself,
up?
man?
What's up? Excuse my tardiness. The restream doesn't accept the green screen, so I had to pull an audible here real quick and show you my shitty wall in the back.
Oh, I know, man. I know. Why do you think I put these bookshelves here? I don't even like books.
You should have left.
Yeah.
You should have left the fucking green screen up so that when you start saying all this Nazi shit later, people can put this background on you. It would have been perfect.
There's plenty of video for that, and it's probably me saying actual Nazi shit too. So if you're editing it, don't waste your time.
Yeah, there you go.
I like your shirt, Josh, man.
Oh, thank you. I don't know where I got this from, man, but it's a great shirt. I've had so many people ask me where I got it at.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got to figure out how to send business cards with some of these shirts.
Oh yeah.
Really do, man. This was the top question LPFT shirt at the last convention. Tons of Mises people wanted it, but how you doing tonight, man? How you been?
I'm doing good. I'm just put the kids to bed, sort of. I mean, we did a little bath time and then I bounced out, so my wife is just going through hell right now, but we're here, man.
I hear you.
Hey.
Man. So let's go around the group real quick. Everybody, let's see what everyone's drinking tonight. So we'll start with the guests. Top, what you drinking tonight?
I just cracked open whatever this says here. It's a 2019 red wine. I don't know.
There we go.
Between that and Tito's vodka, but I didn't have any good mixers, so we're just doing wine today. Not getting too crazy.
I ain't mad at you. All right, Mitch, let's go with you. What are you drinking?
Well, it seems like all us libertarian shirt makers really like our wine. I got myself some Red House wine from Frankenmuth, Michigan, because that's where I was last episode.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. Rich, let's hear you. What you drinking on, big homie?
Fresh bottle of Kraken.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Cracked open for
Hell
tonight.
yeah.
He could have chose something different, but he didn't. He went back to the Kraken.
But he did.
About to get it cracking.
right here, bro.
Reliable,
Yeah.
man. Consistency is the key. All right, Rob, what are you drinking on tonight?
It's a little late for most people, but I just poured a cup of coffee, and I have this Cayman Reef
That doesn't count.
Cayman Reef dark roasted coffee liqueur. Putting it in there.
Nice.
What is it? What the fuck is this? Baby ass fucking drink.
I mean, you used to let Mara drink White Claws, and then Mitch is drinking wine. So
Mara straight
I
up
don't-
mixed fucking, what was it, Mountain Dew?
It wasn't
and
even
fucking
White Claw, it was
champagne?
Truly's.
if I
Yeah.
if I take a shot of something else, can it count? Because this is actually delicious. It's
better
an
take
espresso
two.
mix. It's two shot. Okay. fine.
If Tim's not booting Black Tar heroin, I'm out of this stream.
I'm fucking driving this truck right now, so you just have to wait till I get home.
Gotta wait on the hair.
Nobody's going to make demands on him. And I'm once again going back to the private stock. We're going to finish this out tonight before we move on to a new bottle of something.
Very nice. Classy.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
We got we're just quick side note. We got another special guest tonight. My girlfriend's gonna do some shots with us. So
Hey, nice.
cheers. Come here.
Goddamn white women. They need to be fucking stopped.
My chaser.
So she's drinking with us tonight.
What is that?
Salute.
And if you're watching this at home, please drink along with us, or just get a bat and do some dizzy battle real quick. And if you don't drink, whatever.
Yeah, even if you're catching the replay, start drinking.
Yeah. If you're watching this on a Tuesday afternoon.
Hey, Joey, I'm going to get that black magic as soon as I finish polishing off a few of these bottles. As you can see, I got like a decent amount of liquor in the house. So I got to get through some of it before I start stocking up again.
Mm-hmm. So I will say I watched the last Josh Smith Break the Cycle episode with you on it. And I got to talk about this.
I don't even remember what I said.
The whole cereal thing really threw me off, man. Like you're one of the pour the milk in and then the cereal. But I get it. It's because you explained that you like your cereal crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like letting it get soggy. I even wait. I don't eat it like Frosted Flakes. You got to wait on that shit. So I think there's the people who like it like you do. I think that's how they do it, right? And that's why they do it.
I mean, I've never heard anybody say that they specifically want soggy cereal.
I've never heard. I guess I've heard the crunchy, but like I like it a little soggy.
That's like saying you'd prefer soggy bacon.
Yeah, nobody.
No, it's not. It's completely different. Two completely different things.
So wait, you guys just don't open up the bag and snack real quick sometimes? It's like grab some dry cereal.
I do, but that's why you have the milk is to make it not.
Well, I mean, if that's your prerogative,
so you just pour the milk in the fucking bag? Like...
Mix it up. Come back tomorrow.
No, yeah, that's what I do.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, if you're trying to have like softer, do you have like soft teeth or something?
No, yeah, my teeth are super. My teeth are soft as a baby's bottom.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, but people try to have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't like they want the nice crunch, but if you pour the milk on top, it's just counterintuitive, really.
No, it's not.
How long is the podcast? We can do this for 2 hours if you guys want.
It's about what I wanted to do.
Oh, you're good. This is 2 hours. We're good.
Look.
Yeah, me and Jose we like it rigid and hard.
Everyone else likes to cut the roof of their mouth on this podcast. Is that what I'm hearing? Like, have you ever had
that is a false equivalence?
Have you ever had a bowl of Captain Crunch just fresh out the box and took a whole spoonful to the fucking dome? Your mouth is cut up. Your mouth is done the next day. You can't even eat anything else.
Take a whole spoonful to the dome. You're sounding like a dope addict right now.
It's pretty much just straight sugar.
Those who can't stand the cutting of the roof of the mouth were weak to begin with.
That's true, yeah. You got to cut your teeth on something,
Rich.
bro.
Man up your mouth, Rob.
All right. We can move on.
That's fair enough. Yeah. I appreciate you calling me out immediately on that. That's just how I do it, man. I don't know.
Fine.
All right.
Well, because I watched it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he's like, I watched it. I seen it.
I was watching it for material and research purposes, and then I was like, okay, they're talking about fast food and cereal, so that's just what we're gonna do.
Sorry, yeah, my family's constantly like, I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna be on Break the Cycle, and I'm always talking to them about like libertarian or anarchist shit, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I drove for the show. The guy invited me on. It's gonna be great. And we go on and we talk for an hour, and then in the after stream for like another hour, just about complete bullshit. And they're like, I thought you guys are going to be talking about good ideas. Like you're talking about Taco Bell.
Nah.
Yeah. This is a good idea.
It is. Depends on the time of night, but yeah.
Depends on the Taco Bell too. But hey, man. So you're depending on who you ask, the most popular Liberty truck driver in the movement. So how's that feel, man?
Like
I said, we're leaving it open. It depends on who you talk to. There may be some who disagree. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. How does it feel? I don't know. I'm trying to not be known for my truck driving, I guess. So
I feel like you're trying to sow division between the Tower Power Hour.
Yeah, well, there already is. I mean, Reed knows what's up. If he's watching this, to let him know. He knows what's up. We don't have to cover this. He tells me every day. I tell him every day. It's no big deal. We know that I mean, as far as like best truckers go, it's me. I don't know what Tim's driving right now, but I don't want to talk shit to Tim. But in comparison to Reed, you could pull heavy stuff. You can pull big stuff.
Minute.
Oh, damn! It's about to flex on us. Yeah,
we'll whip it out on you.
But you're in Florida, right, Tim?
No, it's like boring.
Florida.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Florida boys.
In Florida and in like I think Reed's like he drives on the West Coast in Nevada. You guys are going straight for like long haul miles. It's a different animal than what I'm doing. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just like in New York, it's how would I describe it? Like tactical driving. Like don't kill anybody. Back up into these alleyways that like you have this much room on both sides of your truck. You guys are like you're like marathon runners. I'm more like I don't know, like fucking sprinting through alleyways and trying to not run over crackheads and shit.
Hey, Lobster, so you actually drive like through the city?
Sometimes, yeah. It depends on where the route is. So, yeah, it's not fun.
No shit, man.
Sometimes though, when like if the company, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so Reed does over the road trucking. I don't do that shit anymore. I drove in Dallas for a couple years, and then when I moved down here to Florida, I guess you could call it regional, but I'm home every day, so I drive all over the state of Florida. But where we go is into storage unit facilities with this big fucking 53-footer. So, when I go down to Miami or I go through Orlando or something like that, it's not as bad as New York. I'm not saying it is, but it is still fucking pretty tight.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's close. Orlando is a little bit, I guess, depending on where you're driving through. But yeah, it's just like that. It's like that everywhere in New York. So Reed does like long haul stuff, but he's like, I don't know why they keep giving him like these crazy ass loads, and he's just going like, you're just going straight with it. You can't even back up with the super low boy. It's crazy that way.
Yeah.
Are you moving to Florida?
Yeah, I am. Where the house is sold where I'm at right now, and we're closing on a place in northern Orlando. Well, it's north of Orlando, northwest, I guess. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, my neighborhood.
We're all. I'm in Pensacola, so I'm way in the Panhandle, and so I lived in Orlando past like 3 years. Though it's great. You're never gonna be bored if you don't want to be bored. Obviously, you got a whole bunch of stuff to do anyway. But I think, is it a coincidence that truck drivers like libertarianism, or do you think that it's just because you caught a podcast or something, and then you're on the road, so you're just like listening to all these different podcasts, and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm doing now, and I want to be active in doing it.
I got introduced to libertarianism before I was really doing truck driving. I was working in the tracks. I was a track worker in a New York building, like the subway, all the new shit on like the 7th Avenue line and stuff like that. And I listened to Joe Rogan, like short clip with Dave Smith, and then I started to get interested in libertarian politics because Trump kind of really shook shit up. So I started paying attention to politics. But I think more so than being a truck driver, libertarianism might appeal to people that are doing like physical labor, or like men that are assuming responsibility in that way. And truck driving, you're assuming a lot of responsibility, and then you have all this time to just listen to, whatever podcasts are going on. So, yeah, there's an overlap.
It's funny you say that, because I've always had a theory about that, how libertarianism appeals more to the working class than any sort of socialism or anything like that, because it has a lot to do with that whole get it done yourself kind of thing, that sort of rugged individualism.
Yeah.
You're so rugged, Mitch. So
Yes,
fucking rugged, bro.
I mean,
Yeah.
it has more to do with economic insulation. A lot of these people who, they embrace this socialist mentality, they've never had any kind of economic struggle in their life. These are the kids who had nice 2-parent nuclear families. They went to some nice upper middle class school, got everything they wanted, went to college on a scholarship where mom and dad covered everything. They're still paying their bills now at 30 something years old. Where most of the blue collar guys, Nice.
Shade.
I remember that when I'm representing you in court for something you did wrong. Probably pissing in an alleyway.
I will.
after Tim runs over crackheads in an alleyway. Anyway, but yeah, man. And then you got the blue collar side where most of us have grown up our whole lives where it's survival of, the fittest. Hey, we got to figure out how to feed ourselves and, take care of our fucking families. We're not worried about we don't have the time to be worried about these social issues going on around us because we got to worry about how the fuck are we getting paid to make money and put food on the table and take care of ourselves and our family. Like, that's why it appeals more to us because we're already used to that kind of shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a big difference between people that work with their hands, like the physical reality of working with your hands and like putting in that actual time. And then other people, like I was in Williamsburg yesterday seeing Robbie the Fire do some stand-up. And yeah, what you just described is, the people, I think they come from like the middle of the country on their parents' money. They live in like a brownstone in Williamsburg, which is just like, I don't know, $5,000 rent a month or something. And then they complain about socialism and other social issues, but they're not really grounded in reality. And it's pretty obvious when you see them walking around.
100%. That's I mean, a lot of people talk about it, but people who have had a rougher upbringing, tend to like, they have a much better sense of humor and they have a much easier sense of humor, than these social justice warriors. 90% of them, had a cushy upbringing. I mean, I grew up north. I'm sure you know where Patterson, New Jersey is. Josh is also from Jersey, but growing up up there in those neighborhoods, I mean, you see some rough shit. Like you learn to just brush it off and not take shit seriously. And when something's a joke, you take it as a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Definitely.
It's kind of funny because you had a terrible upbringing, Rich, and you're not funny at all. So,
Ouch.
Jeez, so that's the kind of show this is, huh?
Yeah, come on, bring it, son.
Here today. I'm gone 1 week, and man, you guys are already throwing shade at one another.
Beautiful.
I
Keep it
haven't
going.
seen this kind of attacks against each other like this. This is pretty interesting. Let's keep up the hostility, boys.
It's because we get to see each other this week, next week, going to Tom Woods 2000. We're getting ready.
All right, yeah. Everyone's gonna be there. All you guys?
No.
Oh yeah.
No, Josh.
Except for Josh,
No, I
because he
have a wedding.
sucks.
Man, fuck you. I got a wedding. I gotta go.
You going to Michael Heiss's wedding?
No, I'm going to a different wedding that's actually on the same day. But I'm hoping to, get up there and, see some people and do some things. So at least that's that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there.
Family time.
I'm kind of hoping some weird autistic libertarian show up to Michael Heiss's wedding, though.
I might just crash it. If the other wedding's boring, I might just find out where Heiss's wedding is and crash that shit. Heads up, Heiss, I'm coming for your wedding.
Go do the wedding crashers.
Hell yeah, I'll show up in like a hot pink suit and everything.
Do you own one? I gotta know now.
No, I'll buy one just for that. Just so I won't be looked like somebody will be like, "You lied. You came in a blue suit." Like, fuck you. It was hot pink, and I had the Ron Paul T-shirt underneath.
Hell yeah. That's actually a question I wanted to ask a couple people. Is anybody actually getting dressed like to go to this thing, or are we just wearing T-shirts? Like
Hawaiian shirts, baby.
And Hawaiian everything.
I think I'm going suit.
Fucking Duke, who isn't here tonight, I'm pretty sure he has a Hawaiian shirt patterned suit that he's wearing.
Yeah, it's like the short.
Is that what he went with?
I think so. For me, it's like normally I'm always wearing Hawaiian shirts to Libertarian Party things, but this time I'm like, man, everyone's doing it. I don't know if I want to. When everyone else is doing it, something about that makes me think like, man, I don't know, man.
Do it.
Yeah, you should do it.
All right.
Now I'm
Be a
conflicted.
part
I
of
don't
the
know what to
team,
do.
loser. You're gonna wear a Hawaiian shirt.
We're gonna buy you a Hawaiian shirt to wear.
I wanted to wear a tux. I wanted to look super official and fancy for it, but I think everyone's gonna show up in Hawaiian stuff. And I think Tom Woods knows that. I think he leaned into it super hard.
I the funny thing with that is part of me wonders if Tom used reverse psychology to make this happen.
Yeah, he actually loves Hawaiian shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, lots
shorts.
I love Hawaiian shirts and shorts.
Or he's gonna be like, "Everyone go home. You fucking suck. I told you. I told you no."
I'm canceling this whole fucking event.
I
None of you are invited to the do-over.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tom shows up in a Hawaiian shirt.
I mean, that would be epic.
I
if
would.
You did.
Have you talked to Tom Woods? Have you met Tom Woods? Have you been on his podcast? I don't know if he's has he had you?
Oh, I should have. I was supposed to meet him, but I saw him at Pork Fest, but people were mobbing him, so I was like, I'll talk to him the next day, and then the next day I didn't see him, and I had to bounce. So no. Yeah.
I got to see Dave Smith.
Yeah, I met Dave Smith a couple of times. He's a cool dude.
You met the future president?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He was supposed to be at the event yesterday, but he's busy having a baby, so whatever.
Yeah.
Isn't he right on the other side of that wall? I heard he comes down to the basement and gives you food once a week.
No, that's Josh. That isn't Dave.
Yeah, Josh sends it down in a little lever pulley system in a bucket. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I only ran into Tom Woods once at the Owl Revolution thing, and it was in the bathroom in passing. So I'm not gonna mob him then and be like, nice cock or something. I don't want to do that.
I mean, we did almost go to the Waffle House for him, but Denny's and the Waffle House were the gods that failed that night.
I'm upset that the Denny's caucus died.
It did. It died that night, but the McDonald's caucus came out of its ashes.
Yeah. I actually believe you guys. It's probably a Denny's caucus, right? You're not bullshitting me.
Mitch and I were making
it for a week. But then, here's what happened. So basically, we were going to go hang out with Tom, Jack, and Foe, and some other people after the Owl Revolution. And we first went to Waffle House. Mind you, it's almost 1 a.m. We go to the Waffle House, and they're not seating anyone, only to go. Oh, but there's another one up the road. You can go there. They'll probably seat you. Go there, not seating anyone, only to go. So finally, Tom is just like, fuck it. There's a Denny's right next door. Let's go there. We go there, and lo and behold, it's empty. There's no one there, and yet still it's a 45-minute wait. So by that point, Tom was just like, listen, guys, it's late. I'm tapping out, and I don't really blame him at that point, But on that night, Denny's was, much like democracy, was a god that failed.
Yeah. Definitely a god.
Some people hate Denny's, man. Some people absolutely hate Denny's. I think it's far superior to Waffle House. That's just me. Far superior.
Rob, be careful. Waffle House caucus might be listening.
They can listen. They can listen all they want. Waffle House doesn't even seat people anymore. They just don't at night.
Yeah, you're a grown ass adult. Seat your fucking self.
No, I'm not. I don't mean that. Obviously, you already go pick a seat at Waffle House. I'm saying you don't sit down to eat. They just give you the food, and you're sitting up up front. They weren't putting people in booths. Was my issue.
So put yourself in the fucking booth. You
can't. They're like, no. It's like a COVID thing. It's like a COVID thing.
Oh, they shut down the booths.
It works.
Pensacola?
No, not in Pensacola. It was when we had the Florida convention, and Spike was getting everyone riled up. We were going to go to Waffle House as a Waffle House caucus, and they were not seating people.
Yeah, Waffle House was like, no, I'm dealing with all you wild motherfuckers.
We just need more communication. We actually need to talk to Waffle House. I think that would break a lot of the issues up. They know about us. They should. They don't know about us. They actually don't. We should tell them.
Get a sponsorship for Waffle House.
Actual sponsorship. That's what I'm talking about. You need a political Waffle House caucus that they fund. They need to fund us. We need to
Waffle
spend
House
money.
lobbyists. Jesus.
Waffle House caucus lobbyist, and I'm not even affiliated with the Waffle House caucus anymore. So it's not me.
Well, not yet.
So Tom, let me ask. Let's move away from all the cock talk real quick. So, what made you choose Florida out of all the other 49 lesser states you could come to? And what was the catalyst for you really wanting to leave New York? Was it COVID? Was it something prior to COVID? Was it something after COVID? Talk to us here real quick.
So I guess the catalyst, I've never liked New York. I'll preface it with that. I've been here my whole life, but you guys probably know the feeling if you're from Jersey and places like that. You're like, I don't know, it's just miserable, and you can't really understand why. So for a long time, I've been mulling leaving New York, but unsure where to go. And Florida just made the most sense because the weather's nice and I have a bunch of family there. So that's really the reason. And also you guys are like the freest state in the union right now. So That's yeah.
But what about New Hampshire?
Yeah,
Don't
New Hampshire.
Don't say that. The Free Staters are listening.
I know they're on my ass. It's number one. It's cold. I'm Puerto Rican. I can't handle that. And it's just really about family. I think the idea of building a community of like-minded people is the best way to go in the times that we're headed towards. And even though I'm sure you guys disagree with your family, you know that your family is there first and foremost, even if they're like, retarded about a lot of things. So I feel like that's a good base. And then, hey, Florida's a great place too. Look at all you base motherfuckers down there. So, makes a lot of sense.
Trying.
Yeah, we got to convene at the Tom Woods thing since they're going to be there. Definitely got to convene.
Yeah, I'll be around.
I'm gonna. So I'm sure you. I don't know if you've heard the joke yet, but once you move down here, you'll end up hearing it. The biggest export of New York is New Yorkers, and the biggest import of Florida is New Yorkers.
Damn. Yeah.
There's a lot of us down here, and in Orlando, you'll be good, man.
Oh,
a lot of Puerto Ricans out there. So
yeah.
Well, I'm actually going to be closer to the villages, so there is a strategic.
Oh, that's where the old people are.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I know. Well, that's some of my family's up there, and we bought 10 acres, so
nice.
there's like more country up there, but it's still an hour from where my other family would be in Orlando and Kissimmee. That's like normal Puerto Rican spots where they're at.
Oh, yeah.
But so my idea initially with the village is it's close to family, but I was there and I was looking around and I was like, oh, this is a built-in economic system that these people have here. Like the villages could make its own dollar and function tomorrow without oversight from the government, besides their social security checks that they probably get. So yeah, just thinking economically, I'm like, oh, these people need services. My wife's in the healthcare field, so there's like I feel like there's always something to do if shit really gets stupid down there.
Yeah, you're definitely not running low on heart attacks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And golf cart accidents. Was it this show where we looked up the amount of golf cart accidents in the villages? Or no? It's actually higher than a lot of the country, and it's absolutely insane.
It's wonderful.
That's fucking wild.
Well,
golf.
if you're gonna be in the villages, you're gonna be like right next door to Tom Woods, so you'll be great. Great area to live.
I thought he was in Jacksonville. Is that?
I thought he was somewhere around here. I just don't know where.
I thought Tom was like around St. Cloud or something like that, which is like
maybe
in the area.
Yeah.
You got to ask
Why do I always
philosopher.
think he's in the villages? Yeah, she knows.
She knows where his house is at. I know Gene Epstein does the Soho Forum in the villages sometimes. So
that's maybe what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I'm super salty about that because I had those tickets to Scott and Bill Crystal for like 2 years.
Oof.
Yeah. Wasn't able to go. So
understood.
Yeah.
Was it because of vaccine policy? Is that what? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mandate?
Yeah. I could have, there's ways around it, but honestly, if you're gonna do that, I just even if I really want to partake, just fuck you. So I didn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I mean, and it's a good segue if we want to still talk about this stuff, which we should, right? We should get our viewpoints out there. I just had a friend today tell me she works for a company that has made the decision because they have contracts with the military and stuff like that, that they're going to do the 100-worker thing and they're going to say you can't even do the weekly tests. Like you have to get vaccinated or come January 1st, you're going to be fired. And she's going to quit her. She's going to have to quit her job and find a new job. And she has kids and stuff. So it's at this point where it's coercion, it's forced, it's like fascist, right? So it's government working with corporations and corporations working at the behest of the government.
Now, is that widespread in Florida? Because I know that there's federal mandates. So how's Florida handling that?
Here in Florida, it seems like some of the companies are still making moves. First off, Rob, what you just said there, we haven't really talked about this. So this is my first hearing that from you. And for me, it's just hearing that I'm like, holy fuck, because there's 2 separate people who I talked to this week who are in similar situations. One doesn't live here in Florida and looks like if they do end up getting axed, they're going to be coming back. My buddy's coming home. But The other person works for one of the major companies here in Orlando. If you're in my area, you would know what company they are. They make a lot of things that go to space, but they also make a lot of bombs. But this person works on the space end of things. Lockheed Martin. Yeah, and it sounds like Lockheed Martin is also giving their workers that ultimatum, and this person is not having it. So I'm curious to see how this ends up going on both of their ends.
What was your message to him? What did you say?
I pointed out to him the Project Veritas stuff, and that you could cite religious exemption.
Right, because of the fetuses.
Yeah,
that's what I told. That's what I told.
And even then, both of these guys, it's not even like I'm telling them that as like, oh, here's what you could do. It's like I know that they both hold. One's a libertarian, the other one's kind of like Tim Pool types, but they hold very like religious convictions. So it's not even like something that I'm telling them just as like the golden ticket, like, hey, just so you're aware of this, like this definitely goes against, just from the things we've talked about.
Who gets to approve that though? Is it the company or the state, right? And
I think it's state, because in New York, listen to this creepy shit. About 2 or 3 years ago, in New York City, the Jews, like I forget where they're at, like Borough Park somewhere. I know that's it. We're off the stream. Yeah.
What did we do?
Oh, look, Rich is like, I'm out. They said the Jews.
we end up talking about the Jews every episode, so it's okay. Where are we going?
Unavoidable.
Where are we going today?
Talk about my 10%.
Yeah, in this story, the Jews are actually the victim and not the ones that are
they usually
the
are.
World. Well, yeah, I guess it's either way. Here we go.
They got us held hostage with that giant space laser.
Yeah. So about a year before, maybe a year and a half before COVID, the Jews in Borough Park were getting measles outbreaks. I think it was measles or rubella or some shit like that, like their kids. And then they had like this big vaccine push to get them vaccinated. They claim religious exemption, and de Blasio basically said you can't be religiously exempt from this. And I think that he he definitely took it away. I don't know if they complied or not, but it's really creepy when you see that happen, and then within a year you have COVID, and then another year you've got this stuff going on. It's like it's hard to believe it. I was arguing with someone yesterday after the comedy show about like, is this malevolence or is this planned evil? And the guy thought it was a lot of people being stupid, but it's really hard to believe that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with how fucked up things are getting, just how insane, I'm leaning towards the malevolence more and more as the day goes on.
Yeah, I think there's just a large swath of the population that holds public safety higher than, and I'm talking about the population. I'm not talking about the powers to be. I obviously think they are malevolent on multiple levels, but I think there's a large swath of the population that's like public safety trumps all. Even in our legal code, that's a reasoning for a lot of reasons why, like that laws have been shaped how they are. Right? Is public safety.
Well, isn't that the H.L. Mencken quote? The common man doesn't want to be free; he wants security.
Mm-hmm. Right. And liberty and freedom are, I guess, in competition with safety. Every time you make a decision, can I drive my car? Or am I gonna wreck someone? So it's a common thing where they butt heads, and I think we're getting more and more to where liberty is losing, and that's why we're here, right? That's why you do what you do and we do what we do. Just try and spread the message like, hey, it might be good for you. Vaccine might be good for you, and it's not me. And respect that, and we can respect each other.
I'm at the point where it's. I think it was like Vin Armani that said it being being pro-vaccination but anti-mandate is a non sequitur. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't exist. It's like they're one and the same. And I don't know your guys' status as far as vaccination, but the more that I see of like what's going on, the more people. So if you have a large enough amount of people vaccinated, they'll be less likely to care about what everyone else is doing. There are some that will hold their convictions and hold their principles, but I mean, who in 2021, who the fuck has principles anymore?
Well, I mean, if I could play devil's advocate for a second there, Glenn Jacobs is someone who I believe holds those kind of views. He's very anti-mandate, but he is pro-vaccination.
Yep, but he's all right. Let's disregard the libertarians. Let's talk about the normal people. You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah, like libertarians, because where even the libertarians, those of us that we say, oh, that person's unprincipled, they're principled enough to be in the conversation where we're talking about them. If you're talking about someone who like casually watches, Channel 11 or like the WB, whatever the fuck that is, and just consumes mainstream propaganda, and we're talking about their principles, it's like, do they even exist, or is it just a replica of what they're being told? So, I don't know. But I'm also in New York, so I'm kind of black-pilled on this shit.
Yeah, no, I would be too. So you're saying if they get the vaccine, more than likely they are pro-mandate?
No, it's not that they are pro-mandate, but
they don't have skin in the game. They're not. There's nothing for them to lose, and it's not a principled stance that they have. It's more like they got the vaccine, so why can't you? And there's like he's saying, like, if they're not going to stand up against the mandate if they got the vaccine, because like there's nothing in it for them. It's not a risk to them. They don't view it as a big deal. Why should you?
Sure.
Is that what you're getting at? That's what I'm getting from it.
I had a friend like that. I had a friend like that as well, and I recently was telling them like, hey, that's cool and all, because she was like, I don't care. Like, I got mine because I want to keep my job and stuff like that. I'm like, cool, but other people might not want to. So you should help them stand up for themselves, because right now they're being censored. They're, the walls are closing in, to say, really, on people who want to stand up for their right to not get it. And so for people who are vaccinated to stand up and say, I support you, and, your right to work and stuff like that, I think it's huge, and it needs to happen more. I don't see it happening a whole lot.
Yeah, if I could, sorry. No, that's just what Tim Pool's been saying a lot lately, is mainly the whole you can't comply your way out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what you're getting at there.
Yeah, in a sense, it's what I'm getting at. But it is also like, the people I work with, if the ones that have been vaccinated, let me preface it this way. These people will slit your throat for 30 minutes of overtime. Like, literally slit your throat, like, for whatever we make, for half of what we make an hour. So when it comes to their money, they're like, yeah, I'll take the shot. I don't give a shit. So when they're going to come after me, I'm going to you think I'm going to look at them and say, hey, their target, they don't care. These people aren't there for you. So it's like, I think we need to realize that a little bit quicker, because that's exactly what's going to happen. They'll say, once the pressure gets put on them a little too hard, they'll throw whatever principles aside and say, I'm just going to go to work and mind my business. And, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, when it comes time to rat on your neighbors and whatnot, those are going to be the first people lining up to say, yeah, sure, that guy over there, and yeah, sure, I got, I hate to use the analogy, but yeah, sure, there's some Jews hiding under the floorboards.
Yeah,
that's exactly how it happened. Is little by little, push them a little bit more, threaten them where it hurts. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
Well,
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's just the weird thing. It feels like it's been getting more and more more fascist-icky as time has been going on, and it feels like it's been happening really quickly. Even from last year. I mean, shit, you even heard some of the things where it's like the feds, I guess, now are going after people who go to school board meetings about the whole CRT thing and all that shit. And it's like, say what you will about all that debate, but why are the feds getting involved in this?
Well, why are the feds going to some old lady's house in Alaska about January 6th? Yeah, they're politicized.
Yeah,
because they're being directed to. But how come they're not arresting the people who burned down my city for like fucking 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Because
we know the answer to all this. It's all political. They're not sharing the same narrative. They're not pushing the same agenda. You're resisting the agenda, so you should be targeted. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if I could ask like someone in power about this, it's like, how is, like, I understand you have your views on the world, but how is how do you reconcile these clear contradictions out there? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of mental gymnastics, but
that's pretty good. I'm getting paid. That's one of them. That's an excuse.
That's one that we were just talking about there.
Mm-hmm.
Reconcile that. I mean, Do you think these people? Do you think they care about being consistent at all?
No, not in the slightest. I'm thinking of a specific person I know right now talking about this. I'm just like, no, they don't give a fuck about it.
But in their mind, they're like, if everyone was vaccinated, no one would die. Like that's what they're trying to. And then when we're like, okay, how about Israel? How about what was that other country that the study just came out? Singapore. Yeah, Singapore, even a higher vaccination rate, and they have a surge right now. It's like, okay, and then you got to look at the death rates too. But at the same time, like, what are you willing to do as a government, and what are your people willing to comply with to get to like a 97% vaccination rate, right? Like, and I don't want to answer that question because it's quite scary. Like, I don't want to think about that at all.
Well, they're willing to do everything because it's not about the vaccine. Obviously, it's not about keeping you safe. They don't give a fuck if you're safe. Look what they put in our foods. Look what they put in our water. I mean, they're making the frogs gay, dude. But
it's a real problem out here.
They're incentivizing people with donuts and fucking McDonald's to get a fucking vaccine. Like, if you still think it's about health,
it's almost
you're not
hilarious.
paying attention.
Yeah, if I was an evil motherfucker and I was like, I got him to take the shot by giving him Krispy Kreme, I would just be like whacking off all day. They get off on this shit. So, but it's not about safety. I mean, I think everybody knows that. Maybe some people think that they're safer. Maybe maybe it actually does work. I don't know. I don't really care. But ultimately, what it's about is like a social credit score. Once they have you on that, it's game over. Then what?
Hey, so I think it was your appearance with Josh Smith the last time you were on his show. He was talking about how the Canadians, somewhere on their government website, they just talk about, oh, and by the way, the Chinese social credit system's great. Just that random on their government website. By the way, like, where the fuck does that come from?
Well, Canada has a very specific way of doing everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He also called them snow Mexicans, and I don't think I'm ever going to call the snow Mexicans anything other than snow Mexicans.
Josh, what do you call it? It's hilarious.
What?
Josh calls Canada America's ugly hat.
No, America's retarded hat.
There you go.
It's like one of those pink pussy hats.
Yeah, basically, it's like having Meg from Family Guy living above you in like an apartment, but they're really fucking loud and annoying.
They get some things right though, like the weed. They got the weed right.
Their coffee and their donuts are amazing. As I was arguing with people on Twitter.
I just learned today.
Last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. Fuck their hockey.
Oh, that's when we talk shit. I'm with you on that.
You're talking mad shit. They hate that. They don't like that at all. That's their shit.
I give a fuck less. I deal with snowbirds all fucking year.
I just learned today that. Go ahead. Sorry. No,
I was gonna say I deal with retired Montreal Canadiens from the 50s and 60s who got like enough Stanley Cup rings to make Tom Brady look like a joke. Like, I'll still talk shit to you. Fuck you. You ain't shit. Your team hasn't won shit in fucking 25, 30 years almost now. The last time you were, Patrick Waugh was stuffing fucking rings in his ears because he couldn't hear you. Fuck you.
I just learned today that
eyes and your flappy fucking heads.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. He hates them.
Canada. They're fucking hoes.
So apparently, to get into Canada, when you're applying like for citizenship and stuff, they have points. Like, right, if you know French, that's like more points towards your application and stuff like that. So they have a specific culture they want to build whenever, at least when you're immigrating into Canada. Kelly Ferguson says it takes an average of 12 years to approve a drug, but they approved COVID vaccine in about a year. Yeah, I mean, that happens.
Trump approved that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny in emergencies how much stuff gets, how many laws get like cut in half, and then shit just starts to happen a lot faster because regulations are cut.
Yeah, they're still they're asking like Pfizer or one of these companies. Pfizer is asking for emergency approval for kids under 12. I think 5 to 11 or some shit like that. And I'm like, is there an emergency still? Yeah. Like, I don't know, everything seems kind of normal besides the fucking policies that you put into place.
Mm-hmm. It's like they want us to act like it's the Black Plague, but my God, it just isn't the Black Plague.
I wish it was. I fucking wish it was, man. We need to thin these people out. These, like,
Weak-willed fucking losers.
I mean, I get it if you want to make a decision. If you think, if you've done research and you're like, I'm older, so COVID could affect me more. But for kids, it's like, that was never a problem to begin with. Kids weren't having issues with COVID.
From what I understand, as the narrative is with at least Trump, the reason Trump had the vaccine come out sooner was because the idea was, okay, we'll get it to the old people, the most at-risk people, so that they're at least covered, and we could, so we could still go about our everyday lives. That seemed to be the original intention, and that doesn't seem to have panned out.
Mm-hmm. And even like regulation, you look at when COVID started and bars and stuff got shut down, they were allowed to serve drinks to go here in Pensacola. And I'm like, this is amazing. I got a beer and a tequila with me right now while I'm driving.
Hey, good
job, government.
There are some good things to come out of COVID, like you said.
I like the 6 foot thing. That's a great thing for me.
Yeah, seriously, stay the fuck away from me. I fucking hate when I'm in line somewhere at a grocery store or whatever, and motherfucker stands like right here.
Just breathing on your neck. Yeah,
yeah, seriously, get the fuck away from me.
That's that big city stuff. That's that big city energy right there. Just like, there's no room. I'm right here. I'm right here behind you.
No, but you get like that fucking crackhead like person who's like hovering right over you. It's like, can I help you? Step a little bit forward. They step forward. It's like, motherfucker.
Now I got to kill this guy.
yeah. Like, honestly, I didn't even think about that, but I haven't had that happen in over a year.
Yeah, that's all.
The silver lining.
Hey, but
close talkers.
I just want to make a point. Like you said, it was Trump saying, okay, let's be reasonable. Let's get the vaccine out so that the old people will be safe, and then we could get back to normal. But I mean, again, that just goes back to I think it was Malice that said that, the Republicans are just Democrats going the speed limit. When has the Republicans trying to be reasonable and trying to secede a little bit of ground and say, okay, this is the line we're not going to cross. Okay, no. Now this is the line we're not going to cross. They do that time and time again, and the Democrats just take advantage of it. And look where we're at now. The Democrats taking advantage of this shit. It went from, I'm never going to take this fucking vaccine because Trump's pushing it, to you're going to lose your job if you don't take the vaccine.
Yeah, they almost seem like controlled opposition. Right,
right, exactly. And you were asking earlier about it, actually. There's a lot of companies in Florida right now that are saying, I don't know if I'm going to listen to Washington or if I'm going to listen to Tallahassee, because DeSantis is saying it's illegal, but, Biden's saying that OSHA's going to fucking fine you.
Rain hell upon your face.
Right, exactly. If you have over 100 employees. I work for a dealership, and in my store, there's maybe 20 people, okay, maximum. But between the entire dealership group, there's probably about 150 people between all 5 stores that we have at a minimum. And because of that, the total is over 100. And they're telling me that, oh shit, well, you might need to get vaxxed or you might lose your job. And I mean, love them, but I'm going to tell them to get fucked if they tell me to get a vaccine. Mm-hmm. And I'll go find somewhere else to work. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, not everybody has that opportunity. And
it's crazy. It's crazy that this is affecting you guys too. I thought that Florida, because I was paying attention to that $5,000 fine DeSantis said, but Jose Galison explained to me that the federal mandate is $15,000. So a lot of companies are like, I could do 5 or I could do 50. It's such a fucked up position to put them in.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know how we get out of it besides like mass non-compliance, but
that's the only way.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
right now.
If everyone were just to not comply, we would be out of this tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I'm going to Florida too. It's like the Hoppian idea of surrounding yourself with people that you could have a community with, and the Florida man is notoriously crazy, and I love that. Like, you can't it's not that you guys are like out of your minds, but you're gonna do what you want. We see it time and time again in New York. In New York, it's not like that, especially in the city. In New York City, it's really not like that. These people are like compliance freaks. Whatever they say on TV, they're doing. So I'm like, I can't be around them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that makes sense, man.
Yeah.
It does.
I'm hoping the shirt that I made will get some people thinking about Florida seceding. I know Josh picked it up.
Hell yeah.
It's not you, it's me, or what? It's not you, it's us, or
It's not you, it's me.
yeah. I fucking love that
That's-
shirt. That's an awesome shirt.
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's the crazy thing too. I mean, at least in my perspective, is you just see so many people and just the entire liberty movement. Like, Clint, it just came down here. I'm seeing all kinds of photos of him down by me in Miami. I'm about to go join him with the bikini babes out there. You got, you're coming down here at Top soon. You got, who else was it? I think recently I talked to. Yeah, man. I mean, just everybody's coming to Florida. It's great to see, and I mean, I hope that this can lead to something bigger and better for Florida because, for all of the good New Yorkers and New Jerseyans and Northerners that are coming down, there's also a lot of shitty ones coming too, man.
Yeah, let me run this by you guys. I know you're libertarians. Well, first off, how do you guys feel about DeSantis? Like, tell me about that. What's going on?
We're thinking if we should run opposition against him or not. And I think DeSantis has done a great job on the lockdowns. That's cool and all, but the good stuff he does, it's like you can always find bad stuff within it. Like when he did the you can't stand in the streets during protest, when he did the whole protest bill, like good because it was in response to like the Black Lives Matter, burning shit down and staying in the streets, but then bad because we had this whole Cuba thing pop up, right? Like Cuba, and we have a lot of Cubans here in Florida too. So they could have used that bill against anyone who was pro Cuba and anti, communist. They could have used it against them and arrested people in the streets. They didn't. But what happens when someone else is in power?
Hey, but let's be real. The second a Democrat takes power, they will.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You see, that's kind of my big concern about the whole thing, where I've been going to Lysander Spooner's defensive voting. And the lockdowns and everything from the feds are the greatest threat right now. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like I think we'd be better off just tending our gardens on the local level and really trying to make an impact there.
Mm-hmm. And that's the argument. And I think it's a good one. I'm probably going to be voting DeSantis if he runs again here, which I think he is. And then another gripe I have is the whole casino thing. He gave pretty much a monopoly to the Seminole tribe on casinos here in Florida. So you have legal gambling now, which is good, but now the Seminoles owned it for however. Which is the widest thing you could do.
Gambling is not legal at all in New York, so there's that.
Yeah, New York.
I mean, there are still gambling boats here in Florida. Mm-hmm. Fucking get on one of those boats. They'll take you out a few miles, and they'll just spend the night gambling, and then take you in like at dawn and shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if your reparations are you get to get all the gambling money, like okay, like, all right, okay.
I don't know, man. Like those Seminoles, they get good money from that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I was looking. I look at Florida and DeSantis with some type of rose-colored glasses because of where I come from, like where everything is literally shit. So it's.
I mean,
yeah.
No, grass is always greener, man, and we can make it better. Is what we're saying.
It's salvageable. Yeah, at least.
Grass is always greener, and as it is right now, I'm just Lysander Spooner's defensive voting. Like, I feel like if we got like this Nikki woman in or a Democrat or some shit, that shit's just gonna get worse.
Oh, that lady's
it's a matter
terrible.
of kind of staving off the barbarians at the gates, I guess you could say. The enemy of my enemy. And I'd also like to remind people out there, Tho Bishop, if you're listening, I sell Ron DeSantis Grand Theft Auto style shirts with him with an AR-15. So go check that out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
DeSantis, Florida, man.
Yeah, I just don't see DeSantis losing, and that's why, like, it really doesn't matter right now whether we, this is what I keep telling people. It doesn't matter if we run somebody or not. The Democrats could run fucking Obama against him. He's gonna win.
Yeah.
Just based off how he's handled the lockdowns, COVID, and he hasn't even been the best COVID governor either. He's been like third or fourth best at tops. But he's done a good enough job, and he's been vocal enough about it, and he's gotten enough media attention that there's no way, short of him getting hit by a fucking bus, he's going to lose this fucking governor race. Unless he gets hit by a bus or purposely like tanks his own race by deciding he's going to run for president instead of focusing on his governorship, he's going to win. He's going to get another 4 years in Tallahassee. I don't know why everybody's so caught with their panties up in a bunch over, oh no, we're going to get Nikki. No, you're not going to get Nikki Fried. You never were going to get Nikki Fried. Nikki never had a chance. Nikki never is going to have a chance. And Nikki's never going to be anything more than a fucking sticker on your goddamn gas pumps at the fucking 7-Eleven.
No.
Okay, if I could just respond to that real quick. That is a fairly decent point. But another thing that I would say is we position ourselves as someone who maybe we could get something out of him if we don't go directly head to head.
Yeah.
Just look at history and those who played ball with the kingdoms that, came to conquer them.
Do you think it's a better? You think it would be it's a better idea to oppose? You think it's a better idea to oppose him rather than like the Tho Bishop route where he's kind of subverting, like to get your agenda at least pushed a little bit, because that's the idea, right?
I think it's good to have someone in the back pocket that we can run if he doesn't want to like start passing more libertarian stuff, hey, if you want to give us constitutional carry, and like legalize weed and then cut some taxes, like we don't have a guy. But
that's what I'm saying. You play ball with the regime that comes to overtake you, the empire that takes over, those who play ball with, those who conquer you. To some degree, that ends up letting you get the influence that you crave, or at least a little bit more of that.
It has to be a credible threat, though. It has to be credible. Yeah. We can't be pussies and be like, we can't. Yeah.
Let me play slight devil's advocate here. So DeSantis is like, he's a Zionist and he has these other right wing tendencies.
The Jews.
Yeah, but
goddamn Jews.
And we don't like that per se. But do you think it's a good idea to I'm a big fan of poisoning the well, because the people that I see here, you don't want them there. And they're still going there. It's fucking amazing. I have neighbors right down the block. These old people selling their house, and they're like big progressives, like to the point where I've had words with them. And this lady's like 85. And they're like, well, I'm going to go to Florida and we're going to change it. You don't want these motherfuckers there. You should, I would do anything in my power to make it like completely untasteful to them so that they don't go there.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because they'll move to like a city. They're not going to move out to the country.
They're all going to congregate in Miami.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Palm Beach County, Broward County, Miami-Dade County, or they're going to go to fucking Hillsborough, Pinellas, or fucking
Orange
around Orlando. They're going to stay in the metro areas. They're never going to leave their little blue fucking enclaves. And they're going to do the same thing that they did. They're going to make a little fucking bright blue blip, a little bit brighter blue, and the whole fucking state's essentially going to stay fucking red. Once again, I don't know why people are worried. These fucking losers are moving into their little congregations around the state. Like, that's why the fuck I'm trying to get out of Broward County, because I'm sick of dealing with these fucking losers.
Well, I'm like Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Broward County's weird, huh? Is the rumor? Are the rumors true about Broward County? Because I hear weird shit going on.
Broward is so damn blue. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean like the weirdness of it.
Yeah, like there's lizards in the trees and shit. Like instead of squirrels, it's like lizards.
The iguanas.
I can tell you all about it.
Let me tell y'all some stories about Broward County.
Okay.
So I lived in a building right on Sunrise Boulevard, which is like the busiest east-west thoroughfare in Broward County, in Fort Lauderdale. It's like the main road to get from one side of Fort Lauderdale to the other. So I lived in a building there, and the leasing office had the spa right next door. Like they had a little spa, you had a steam room and a sauna and whatnot and a pool, and that was all connected. I'm sitting in the leasing office and I see a blur run behind me, and I kind of glance over and I was like, nah, there's no way I saw what I just think I saw. And I look out the window, and lo and behold, dude, butt ass naked, running ass, just hauling ass straight at Sunrise Boulevard. Apparently somebody took his shit. He was sitting in like the steam room or a jacuzzi or something, and somebody took all of his shit, and this guy ran butt ass naked out on Sunrise Boulevard, chasing this guy. Dick swing and everything, man. It was bad.
That just sounds like a Florida man story in general.
Yeah, that's making me actually want to go there now.
Yeah.
I mean,
man.
shit.
Yeah, Broward's got a lot of crazy shit that's going on there, man. I've seen some pretty doofy, wild stuff. Had a dude getting chased by the cops, hopped in my backyard when I lived in Fort Lauderdale a couple years back. He hopped back over the fence and we send the pit bull outside. Oh yeah. Oh, speaking. Yeah, I guess we'll make a fun story. My wife hucked a wild duck into one of her coworkers' office today. Like that's the type of wild shit that happens in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Took one of the wild Chinese ducks that live around Broward County. There was one that one of the girls she works with, she feeds them every day and takes care of them. So they think that they own the place now. And one of them came up and bit her. So she grabbed this motherfucking wild duck up by the neck, walked it into the office, and hucked it in this bitch's office and slammed the door and held it shut.
Oh, my God.
No windows, no doors. This is a completely enclosed room. So mind you, this duck's freaking the fuck out now. She's freaking the fuck out because it's fuck, there's a duck in my office.
Is that domestic terrorism?
I don't know.
On the Florida Man level, it sounds like.
Duckmestic terrorism.
Duckmestic. Oh, damn you. I was going to say it.
It's the name of the episode.
Duckmestic terrorism.
You know, I was in
Duckmestic terrorism.
Fuck yeah.
I was in Hollywood, Florida a couple of years ago, and I went to this pizza shop because I like to eat the pizza wherever I go. Hands down, worst pizza I've ever had in Aruba. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. But I went to this place. They said it's New York pizza, right? And
JoJo's, right?
No,
Was
it's
it
not.
downtown?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly where, but they gave me a piece of pizza. It was this big. It was a huge piece of pizza.
It's
like
JoJo's.
one slice.
Yeah. JoJo's. I've had it.
Yeah.
It's still around.
Yeah, so I went in there, and I guess the whole shtick of this place is that they try to act like they're actually from New York. So I went in, and they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Let me get a slice." Yeah, let me get a slice. And they're like the whole thing was just they were just mean. And then afterward, they explained it's no, this is the whole point of it, that we're mean like New York. And I'm like, New Yorkers, we're not we're not mean.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, we're just like when we say what do you want, we're like, what do you want, because there's 100 people here, so we're trying to be quick. There was no one in the store, and the lady's yelling at me. I was like, what the fuck is up with this shit?
If I might, as another northern transplant here in Florida from Michigan, I just want to say that's the one downside to Florida is I still have not found a good pizza place.
Yeah.
Never have.
Unfortunate.
I've kind of given up hope. I'm just leeching off of Jets pizza around here just because it's what I know.
I'm down to wrestle a gator, but I bet you this guy Joey won't wrestle him naked. So eat shit, Joey.
Joey's naked, drinking, listening to this podcast on his couch.
Prove it. Show Dong, Joey.
Joey, we're gonna send you a link.
No, we're talking a lot about Texas, Florida, and I want to say New Hampshire. Those are the three big ones when it comes to people all going to those three. And there have been a lot of libertarian projects in a lot of places, but I feel like these are the big three states, at least within the U.S., that things are changing.
Well, I think Texas is done, man. Elon Musk is moving his gigafactory or whatever the fuck his headquarters to Austin. So
you think they're going to turn blue? Because I've heard people tell me otherwise.
I think they're bringing bullshit.
It's urgent. They are definitely turning blue. I think that abortion bill that they just passed, the whole 6 days thing, I think that was an urgent response to a lot of blue people moving into Texas, because that's a super red bill. It's super conservative. And it's trying to drive people out. I think it's a strategic bill.
Yeah. See, now a lot of libertarians would oppose it on I don't know, whatever kind of arguments. Personally, I'm pro-life, but a lot of libertarians would say, the government has no right to say this. But I think it's a great strategic move. Even what DeSantis did with the $5,000 fines, I'm like, yo, go further. Tell them that you're going to take their kid if they fucking do. Just poison the well as much as possible so that these people don't come to your community. This is make a Hoppian state.
Yeah, it's you don't want to, but at a certain point, the Democrats play super dirty and the Republicans are habitual rule followers. So it's you have to play the fucking game. You have to play. If you don't want to play, why are you here?
if that's the case, to anyone progressive who might happen upon this, oh my God, we're all dying of COVID down here. Like, don't come down here. You'll get sick. You'll die of corona.
You have to have a baby in Texas. Like, you just have to. It doesn't matter.
Have you seen that Forever Purge video that was like anti-DeSantis?
Oh, can we play it? Can we play it?
Dude, that's the reason why I love that video so much, is because it's gonna scare all the fucking blue idiots from coming down here. I fucking love when I saw that video. I fucking loved it.
Yo, didn't 2 of the members of the Florida LP show up in that?
Yeah, matter of fact,
we got signs.
Stephen Nikala and I think Mark
Tanzer. Yeah. And actually, me and Josh were just off screen because I know when that picture was when that shot was.
Wait, so this is
there.
So you almost made the cut.
Josh, yeah, me and Josh were just off screen, dude.
It's all about who you know.
Josh,
popularity contest.
I got a request.
The commercial.
I got a request. Can you show the video and then show the guy who's paying the attorney with the death suit that's paying for this as well?
Yeah, we did that last week, but yeah, let's.
Please tell me it's Morgan and Morgan.
I know we did it last. It's not Morgan.
Oh damn, they're evil. I would have loved that.
Oh god damn it! Nobody. I gotta find this thing.
That's fine. It's like the most pro Ron DeSantis, anti Ron DeSantis ad.
Oh yeah, you played this last week. I loved it.
You saw it? Okay, never mind. We can just start.
No, it's all right. Play it again. I came last time too.
Yeah.
No, we got. I wasn't here last show.
Hey, I'm with Joey. Joey's saying we need to make that video the new intro to the podcast. I'm all for it.
Yeah, some of these things are like, it's along the lines of AOC being like controlled opposition for the right. That video, it's like the same shit. Like if I was an op on the right and I wanted a mole on the left, I would make her AOC and just do exactly what she's doing now.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've always had a theory that AOC is Trump's mole.
Yeah, she.
I mean, think about it. They're playing out of the same book.
Yeah,
they're both New Yorkers.
Right. Yeah, see, I mean, there's no reason that Trump could have sent out some feeders.
Lawyers no audio. Lawyer link is in the links for show.
Here, let's try turning.
The link for you not being a lawyer.
Not yet.
There you go.
No, cut the audio.
Cut the audio.
Yeah, it's major feedback.
Yeah, you got a
major feedback.
Here,
mute yourself.
Let me mute myself and we'll do that. Give me 1 second.
I mean, it's still spankable, but yeah, keep going.
I mean, we could definitely wait on Tim to bring it up once he gets home. Once he gets home, he can figure
wherever
it out.
Tim might be.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying he's going to be back on in 10 minutes for the past 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's fine. He probably ran over a crackhead down some alleyway.
Well, the key to running over a crackhead is you got to back up over him. You got to double tap.
Because you have so many. You have so many.
I'll be back down in 10 minutes.
Yeah, they respawn in the same spot. I can't hear the audio, Josh.
Yeah, no audio.
I think what was going on, he might be playing the speakers in his house, so his microphone is picking it up twice.
Yeah.
He's got infinity screen going on right now.
Yeah, I know. This is crazy. I feel like I'm going to have a seizure.
It's actually kind of cool.
Nope.
3 million infected. What's interesting now is that Florida's spike is actually going down. If you guys even believe the tests, it's kind of like, evening off. And I feel like New York's spike is going to go up because this thing is endemic. It's seasonal. So
I mean, I never really bought it to begin with because it's like I work with the public constantly, and first chance I got not to give a fuck about that whole mask thing, I just didn't. And I've been fine this whole time. I went to Texas for my best friend's wedding at the height of when everyone was fucking afraid, and I was walking around Dallas with no mask on. And like getting all these looks and everything like that.
Yeah.
Fucking, I've been to Michigan. I've been to all these other places throughout all this, and I've just been fine the whole time.
And no one really says shit to you in the South. Like when you.
I mean, I got some passive aggressive coughs
for sure. Yeah. Which is fine, but like you and I have been to 2 national conventions.
Well, that's
together.
what I'm talking about. Those 2.
Yeah, and then statewide conventions, unvaxxed, unmasked, and then I never stopped going to bars. Right, like I got it one time last October. It's probably my COVID anniversary, honestly. Right about now, and haven't got it since I've been to like 3 national conventions, 2 statewide conventions, and then bars and hanging out with friends. Like I'm not worried about it anymore, man. I'm back to normal, and that's what everyone else needs to do.
Yeah, I actually my parents have it right now, but they're in their 60s. So I'm like, I'm slightly concerned for them, but they're, it's I don't know, it's one of these weird things where some people get it bad and some people don't. Oh, we're getting some feedback, Josh.
Nope, Josh, just don't worry about it. Just wait till Tim.
Yeah, Josh.
We're waiting until Tim.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe we can summon Tim.
Tim said he's going down his driveway now, so that must mean he finished cleaning the crackhead blood off of his truck.
You got to remember, Tim's in his new place. He doesn't have his computer anymore.
Oh yeah,
that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, so
at least if he's in here, he could direct you.
Well, you saw it. You saw it last week. It basically, if you're listening to this and you didn't see it last week, they clipped DeSantis with like ominous music, like you do in any political ad, and have like 50,000 dead, empty stadiums and stuff, and have DeSantis's like best sound bites from the whole COVID lockdown, like his #1 vote getting shit. Like there it is. There it's in the YouTube. It's in the chat link.
Yeah, it's all the most liberty-oriented shit he said the entire time. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lock people up in their homes. I'm not gonna force people to get vaccinated. And they're like, "Oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. It's fucking great."
And the guy who funded the video is an attorney from like apparently Santa Rosa County, like right down the road from me, and he goes around the beaches in a death costume, like with the scythe and everything.
Oh, I saw
that guy.
Yeah,
what a retard.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like getting on people, talking to people about not wearing masks on the beach outside. What a complete.
I'd love to run into that motherfucker and cough on him.
I really would too. That would be fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's like we let insane people have so much control over us, and it's because we're not willing to play the game as much, and that's what I think the LPF needs to start doing. We need to start being like way more in the media, because the Democrats they won the media, right? Like, make no mistake about it. The Republicans aren't the ones with all that control.
Dude, that's why I feel like the more I look into and read and listen to Hoppe, like I can resonate with that message just a little bit more, because it's real defensive shit you can do to, at least on the local level, help out, you and your neighbors. It's not, like it's not the whole living in Ancapistan in your head. It's actionable shit that you can do. And that's, like you said, it's something that the Libertarian Party really lacks. That naturally we're all, leave me alone libertarians. But unfortunately, they're not going to leave us alone. It doesn't matter how much we say leave us alone. We could open up a fucking compound like Waco, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to fucking come after us. You know what I mean? They're never going to leave us alone. So what can we do to get them to leave us alone? These are actionable items that we could take.
You could open up 1 million compounds like Waco. Mm-hmm. And, well, they can't Waco everybody.
Joey in the chat just made a phenomenal point, and I really think this is the key. Is a lot of things is we need to really change the culture. The left owns everything culturally right now, and it's getting to a point where a lot of people aren't into it, and that's a major opening for us.
Yes, that's what Top Lobster is about. It's in my little way, if I could change the culture, I call it a visual propaganda. I feel like I've been successful at pairing myself with the audio propaganda part of it, like the guys that are doing podcasts, like you guys that are you're creating like this entertainment, you're creating this culture that's in the realm of like Timeline Earth Tower Power Hour kind of guys. You have your group of people, and you are creating culture in a way. And I think that's what it is, just grains of sand, and just keep on piling them up and see where it leads, because this shit is gonna die. Like the the mainstream media or the corporate press, which is actually a better way to refer to it. I don't even have cable. I see like, if Tucker Carlson is talking, I see it on a fucking there you go, toplobster.com. That's the newest one. I redid the Louis Ling whatever. But yeah, if I see Tucker Carlson or like if Rachel Maddow or anything on CNN, it's only because I see it on Twitter on like this cultural sphere that we are moving, or if you guys are talking about it, or if some podcast brings it up.
Well, that's been my point that I've talked with people in my family about, where I basically tell them it's like, yeah, podcasts at this point have kind of replaced television as a whole for me, even beyond like the news. Like, before I used to watch Jon Stewart back when The Daily Show was funny, and now I just get it from Tim Pool or Dave Smith or something like that. But like even on another level, it's like not just pure politics, but like on a comedy level. When I was young, I really wanted to go sit on an episode of Saturday Night Live because holy fuck, that'd be fun, until I learned how the hell you get tickets, and that's fucking retarded. I'm not going to wait in line all day. If you don't know how you get it, it's fucking stupid as shit. The fuck NBC. But like now it's at the point where it would just be like, if I did end up going to New York again and didn't have to deal with the fucking mandates or whatever, I would probably more so want to go sit in an episode of Legion of Skanks in one of those bars, man. That would be funny.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be not even just like things like that, like all these other things as well. It's like there's so many comedy sketch groups out there online that are making new jokes constantly that like some of the more conventional corporate comedy just can't compete.
Yeah, it never. I mean, man, when I was growing up, Comedy Central Presents was the shit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing like Pablo Francisco for the first time on there. Like Dane Cook was on there, and before he had like his Vicious Circle shit. This is like even before MySpace, and Geraldo Rivera, these kind of guys. Then it got corporate, and they started telling these guys what they can and can't say. And actually, did you guys see the 100th episode of Josh Smith's show with he had Dave Smith, Maj Touré, and he invited me on for some fucking reason. But I was telling the guys that they were talking about comedy. Adam Nutter was there too, and they were talking about like the state of comedy now and how it's been watered down. You have that corporate comedy, but I said, hey, I'll tell you from an outsider standpoint, because I've loved stand up my whole life, and I actively searched out like I would say Lions of Liberty. I actively searched out like guys from the Legion of Skanks. I'm looking for this shit. I don't want to see. I forgot who's the new guy that's doing the Daily Show.
Trevor Noah.
Well, yeah, we shouldn't even say his name. I don't want to see that. He's not bringing like anything good.
It's fucking garbage.
He won his job in a contest, so he must be good.
I mean, I listened to his stand-up hour years ago, and he had one thing that made me chuckle a little bit, and that's really the end of it. But yesterday I was at a comedy show with guys that like Mike Feeney was up there, Robbie the Fire. Man, I forget, there was a couple other guys. They're fucking funny, dude. And we're just in a hole in the wall in Williamsburg. And it's out there. It's out there, and it'll have its time. It'll have its time. It's coming.
Oh, you got people trying to fucking cancel Dave Chappelle now. I mean, that motherfucker, he's, when we look back, like, he's going to be one of the funniest motherfuckers to ever do stand-up.
Oh, he already is.
Ever do any form of comedy, I think. He's going to go down with Richard Pryors, the Robin Williams of this world, the George Carlins, the Eddie Murphys. He's going to be fucking legendary, you know what I mean? And people are trying to cancel him right now for shit that he says, and it's like, people are going to fight back against that, and I think that's the white pill that we all need to take. People don't want to listen to Trevor Noah. People don't want to listen to any one of those motherfuckers that are on TV shows at nighttime anymore.
As Eddie Murphy said that Richard Pryor told him about Bill Cosby. I don't know if you remember that shit on I think it was Raw. He said, tell Bill I said, have a Coke and a smile, and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was going back and watching that Eddie Murphy Raw is an experience if you're a stand-up fan.
It still stands today. You can watch it. When my kids are of age, I'm going to show it to them, and I can guarantee you they'll laugh at the Goonie Goo Goo shit. I mean, it's just classic, man.
It sucks because I really like Bill Cosby.
Stand-up isn't what it used to be, man.
No, but
Remember-
like
It is.
if you go search it, you like Joe Rogan, so you like that whole circle, like Joey Diaz and Ari Shaffir, like that whole group, Louis Gomez, like the Skanks, all those. Then comedy is the same; it hasn't changed. Even the left leaning comedy guys, right? Like minus Trevor Noah, because I think Trevor Noah is funny. It's just I can't stand it because I know where he's coming from. I know he's bought and paid for, and it just irks me. His jokes irk me because he's so fucking wrong. But if you look at Russell Brand, he's super far left, and he's getting canceled because he's trying to expose like the Wuhan lab leaks and stuff. I can listen to Russell Brand's comedy; he's fucking hilarious. Or even Jon Stewart.
Well, what does canceled mean now? I mean, they've canceled Joe Rogan 100 times. You can't cancel Joe Rogan. You can't cancel Russell Brand.
Uncancelable.
Yeah.
Be uncancelable is the new thing.
That's
Yeah.
the
Throw
thing.
you're following.
Though there's a lot of people who have mastered the craft of of becoming uncancelable. Trump is obviously one. Fucking
Mitch,
Corona-
make the t-shirt. Make the t-shirt before Lobsta does.
Uncanceled.
Yeah.
I'm
that's-
making this a name. I'm making this note right now because Jesus
Go ahead.
Christ, you're right.
Do it. You have my blessing. But
All right.
that's why.
Competing t-shirts. Let's go.
Yeah, no, man. Listen. I mean, we're in competition because we're I guess in the same field, but I want to see people that are doing this stuff succeed. So what's your Twitter handle, Mitch? Because
Cypherpunk Scribe.
okay, I got to make sure I follow you. If I see you, put your artwork up there, and I'll retweet you. But
Oh yeah.
and what was I gonna say? Yeah, I kind of forgot. Oh, what I was gonna say is that about being uncancelable. That's the reason why I started doing like the Top Lobster shit and trying to make. I was trying to make a separate stream of income because, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I saw this coming down the tubes. Who saw COVID coming? But I saw like stupidity coming, and I'm like, man, if I'm tied to one job, and these guys could tell me what to do and what I can't do, I'm fucked. So, yeah, Tim, your connection is ass.
I mean,
So that's why I started to like basically scrape and try to build a separate stream of income. It started like that. It started with that idea, and I was doing like other like niche things. So like Mother's Day, Father's Day, shit like that. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna do like shit that I love because I feel like people will be able to. It'll resonate more with people if I do something that I like. Because if it's not authentic, they don't. You're gonna be able to tell. But yeah, everyone that's listening, man, that's what it's about. Make yourself uncancelable, so you don't have to comply with or obey or submit and comply with the bullshit that these people are telling you to do. Fleshy meatballs.
Fleshy meatball.
that's I know exactly what that is.
Can you explain?
Yeah, I like to
Well,
know. that.
Rob, you were there during Tim Pool's when he had Dave Smith and Love Handles on.
No,
right?
I was there for like a couple minutes.
Okay, so you weren't there for the whole thing. Eventually, in the interview, I think Dave Smith mentioned fleshy meatballs, or that came up in conversation.
Mm.
And yeah, one of our listeners wants us to make a shirt out of it.
Oh, okay. Yep. So he's
Man.
more than a listener, man. He's here every week. Joey, Leighton is always here.
Joey's a groupie.
Yeah, Jonathan, who wants me to represent him whenever I become an attorney because he's got this sexy alligator that he wants to molest. So yeah, we got a couple
The alligator
groupies.
wanted it.
It
Allegedly.
identifies as a female.
Let me ask you guys. Some of you guys are like natives from Florida or have been there long enough. So the property that me and my wife purchased, it's like 10 acres and there's a lake in the back.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like slightly concerned
100%
about alligators. 100%. Yeah.
100% gators. 100% gators.
Where do I shoot it?
I mean,
You should be more concerned. You said Orlando area, right? You should be more concerned about ducks. Like, don't have a doghouse or anything in around your house that ducks can like get in because they will lay eggs and then you cannot move them. Once they lay the eggs, it's illegal to move.
yeah, those herpes
Really?
ducks are assholes.
Mhm.
I don't know what their scientific name is, but they have like red shit on their face. I call them herpes ducks.
It's a fucking mallard, Mitch.
It's not a mallard, is it?
No, I don't know my ducks.
I don't
know, man. I kind of want to go look up a nature documentary now.
I'm trying to get some goats, man. I'm gonna
David Attenborough ass motherfucker.
Just look up the law because they are protected. So and it stinks too. They stink really bad. Like fuck a duck, really. Like they say that's why they say that.
Huck a duck into somebody's office.
Your wife is crazy, Josh. I'm just. Gonna say.
I know.
Florida
I gotta
woman.
keep her around. She'll kill me if I don't.
I fully think that we should have a segment on the show where, like, the ending segment is like your favorite Florida man story of the week. We don't do it, but we should.
I mean, we could just talk about our favorite Florida man stories in general.
I think I'll look one up.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about it. We said the day. It's like the anniversary because there's a website, right? You can go to it and say your birthday. Yeah. It's like whatever you enter in your birthday, and then whatever Florida man story pops up, that's like your birthday Florida man.
Oh, my birthday one was lame. I looked it up.
Yeah, mine too. It was no good.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Everyone gets all these cool, crazy ones, and then I get something generic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Florida man didn't want to do no cool shit on my birthday.
I mean, he still did something, just not something worthy of remembering.
What is it? October 8th?
Well,
okay, yeah.
I'm
here.
Florida man survives.
Yeah, just Google Florida man and then your birthday.
Alligator attack by poking at its eyes. He was left with 65 stitches.
Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah, for me it was.
This is in Port St. Lucie. One grabbed him and tried to drag him into a canal, but he's been living around gators his whole life, so he just managed to like dig his fingers into the reptile sockets and rip them out.
Fuck yeah. Now that motherfucker's like the gator from Happy Gilmore.
I mean, to be real, when I was living in South Florida, I saw gators a lot more than I do up here in Orlando. And frankly, it was one of those things where I swear to God, most of those motherfuckers were more afraid of us than we are of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this Florida man one sucks. Shirtless Florida man travels to Myrtle Beach to headbang during Hurricane Florence.
Yeah. Oh, here. Mine just sounds so like.
Oh, that's
crazy.
the meme. That's like that fucking meme of that guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you
pretty
would be a Florida man. Mine was just Florida man caught with cocaine on his nose and insists drugs are not his.
so just normal shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that could happen to anyone.
That Florida man who did the head banging, I think he got famous for doing the head banging, and I think he's trying to like make it a thing now in hurricanes, like where he goes and does it. Like he got famous. I have it involves an alligator because why not? Says resident arrested after a video leaked online of him pouring beer into an alligator's mouth.
Nice,
like you do.
Like
Did you guys see the Florida man that caught the alligator in the garbage can?
Yeah,
Spanish dude.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had a whole debate on whether that was Army or Hood training.
Mm-hmm.
That was hood training, bro.
That's hood training,
Right?
Thank
you.
Was the dude?
Thank
Was
you.
the
I
dude
said
in the
that shit
army?
you learned in the
It would've been
hood.
trash in that trash barrel.
Was that dude in the army before, or some form of branch of the military?
They said
No.
he had Army training.
He was Dominican. He was,
Bro,
He was Dominican.
he was Latinos.
No, that's hood shit.
It was
That is
straight
hood
hood shit, and the slides gave it away because
Ex-
some army guy would have had
exactly.
boots.
Exactly.
We all had shower shoes, bro.
Yeah.
I can tell
Nah,
some of y'all have never been in a military barracks before.
You want to see a
Yeah,
bear?
slides with socks on, bro.
Motherfuckers
Yeah,
got
slides
the
with socks on. That's some hood shit.
I am guilty. I am fucking guilty. You guys wearing the slides out there, or you covering full toes?
No,
Hell yeah.
big slide, man.
Yeah, I got the Tivas, the dad sandals.
Oh wait, the
I
ones
gotta
with the
chase my
back
kids around.
With the Velcro.
The Jesus
Hell
shoes.
Gotta
yeah,
have
the
Velcro,
Josh Smith sandals. We gotta chase the kids around, man.
The Moses sandals.
How many kids you got,
the
Josh?
Jesus sandals. Just one. I'm working on more though.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Working on it.
Have you
Working
gotten
on it.
into the fanny pack yet?
I mean, I've gotten into the fanny. I don't know if you'd call it a whole pack or not, but I've definitely gotten the fanny.
That's funny.
Well, if you're into the fanny, you're not going to have another kid that way.
Oh yeah.
All right. Pro tip.
She's
Top Lobsta
Italian, not
anatomy.
Greek.
My dad rocked the fanny pack for the longest time, man, until like maybe the early 2000s.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a dad, just fucking own it.
Yeah, man.
Go for it.
Yeah, he had like
I hate
the
all the
shorts and the fanny pack.
Sort of like leveling up in a video game, and you could finally use some armor that you got at an earlier level but couldn't use because, like, you didn't unlock. That's what I think the fanny pack is. Like, once you become a dad, you've unlocked that option.
I want to get like my dad and just never buy any new clothes ever. Instead of needing shorts and being like, I think I'm gonna go buy some shorts. Like he just took his old sweatpants and cut them off so they are shorts now. Poorly cut them off.
Yes.
And he just does that now and his balls hang out. That's the level of dad that I want to get to in my life.
Oh, that's my uncle in the Villages. They're like, he lives out there, but he's like New York as hell, and he's doing exactly what you're saying. and they try to go to golf courses with this guy, and he's just wearing like these sweatpants from 1980 with like a hole in them. And like, you can't do that shit, man. There's like these rich white people, and they're not gonna have that here. I don't give a fuck.
And it becomes a pride thing after a long time. He's like, I've had these sweatpants since '82, and you're like, first of all, they're shorts now because you cut them, and second of all, your balls are hanging out, and this is a golf course.
That piss stain on the shorts, on the crotch there, yeah, that's older than you.
97.
I hide them from my cold dead legs.
Yeah.
This is a barbecue stain from 2002.
Memories, boys.
yeah.
Memories.
I get sentimental about clothes like that. Honestly, I have some clothes that I probably should throw away, and I think a lot of guys do.
Oh no, not me.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're moving now, and like,
that'll do it.
I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't fucking need that. I throw it out.
That'll
And
do it.
if I do need it, I'll have to rebuy it. That's my bad now.
It's
but
because
fuck it.
moving's such a bitch, though. That's why.
Yeah, it's just how I am too. My wife is like, she'll look at everything. Do we need? Oh my god, do you remember when we? No, I'm throwing this shit out, dude. Everything is throwing out.
Yeah, I should have done that when I moved down here, man. I didn't. I haven't done it in a while. I need to.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince her. Yeah, all kinds of shit. I mean, there's still stuff here in this basement that I'm like, I'm probably gonna just throw that out. Let me see if I could. It's a little bit of a mess here, but I'll show you. I built this. Look at this all toy shit. So that Yankee facade there and the Yankee thing, I built that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw that out.
Damn.
I'm not fucking dealing with any of this stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's
Throw it out, start new.
It's like sentimental shit that gets me, and useful shit. It's like if you're moving, and you're like, oh, these zip ties. They're not mine, but I could take them. And then I had this painting of the allegory of the cave. If you've read Plato, I painted the allegory of cave, drunk, and it was very shitty. It was like a kindergartner painted it, and I kept it for like 5 years.
Oh,
I had to throw
I'll
it away.
pay you 5 Ethereum for it.
I threw it away. I finally threw it away. It actually physically hurt me whenever I threw it away too.
You know what I can't seem to throw out? I have like I do carpentry, and I went in my garage and I have all these like wood clips, like the binding clips and all that, and I'm like, I need that. I
like
need
the
this.
transitions, like for the transitions, or
well, no, just like to bind stuff. If you're like gluing stuff, like clamps, wood clamps.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, some of them are fucked up. I mean, real fucked up. Like probably don't work. But I'm like, I could fix her. So I packed that shit and I threw out like brand new clothes.
No,
I'm out of my goddamn mind.
Broke around here, we fixed it, boy.
Yeah. You can never have enough wood clamps. That's a pro tip right there.
You never have enough tools.
Oh yeah, you guys tool guys.
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of tools in my house. I'm definitely gonna have a nice big toolbox, tool shit. You got to, because if you're a homeowner, shit breaks at your house. You got to know how to fix shit. You can't spend $3,000 on a plumber out of nowhere. Like, come on.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for
kind of
sure.
like my thing on that shit too. Like whether it comes to like, fixing a hole in the wall or trying to fix anything, like at least know the basics.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's too many fucking grown ass men who don't know how to do basic ass shit nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It really is. Don't even bother asking at Lowe's what you need help with.
Also, with the power of YouTube, it's like grown ass man don't know how to do it with the power of YouTube.
Bro, YouTube will teach you how to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything I know how to do is straight from YouTube. Like I used to play guitar professionally for weddings. So that's like, I learned it straight from YouTube. Dang. Woodworking, straight from YouTube. Even this drawing shit, like I was about to quit with the app that I use. And I'm like, I'm going to YouTube. And now I'm like super proficient at it. Everything on YouTube.
Well, now I just want to know what tutorials you're using. Cause like, I'm always like going through shit. Like,
what do you want? Oh, for what app do you use to design?
I use Photoshop.
Okay. I'm cheaper. I use Affinity Designer. So it's like, it's the equivalent of Illustrator. Yeah, right.
Oh,
right down. Yeah, so Photoshop. Adobe Illustrator is like.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, the cheap knockoff version is Affinity Designer, and if you know how to use it, it's very bare bones. But if you learn how to use it, it's $50 one shot, and that's it. So I don't pay monthly for it.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, just go straight on YouTube and you fucking learn everything if you have the patience for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Nobody's the fucking patience anymore.
Bro, I feel like I've been talking this whole episode.
This guy, I like the sound of your voice, Rob.
Thanks.
The Luchador of Liberty.
Sexy sounding.
Oh yeah. Good plug. Thanks, Mitch. If you, listen to Luchadors of Liberty every now and then. We probably do like once a month, maybe twice a month now.
What's that show about?
Well, speaking of
college football. It's just libertarian. Yeah. I also do a college football podcast if you like football. It's on the Higher Frequency Podcast Network, which I'm trying to start a network eventually. I'm going to have to go on a hiatus, though. As you guys know, I'm about to start studying for the bar. So about to do a little hiatus.
You guys talk about like pro wrestling?
No. So it started off because my old co-host was of Mexican descent. And we like alliteration, so like the Lions of Liberty, I was like, we'll do Luchadors of Liberty. And now none of us are Mexican, so it's just weird.
You've had a Mexican wrestler on.
Mm-hmm. El Capo came on. He's a very, very mysterious wrestler libertarian.
Nice.
Only made one appearance on one show, I believe.
I don't want to flex on you guys, but at like 3:00 today, I was actually on Lions of Liberty talking with Mark Claire in Mexico. I know, dude. It's fucking bizarre. It's so crazy. That's like one of the first people I was listening to when I got interested in this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, man.
And he's such a nice guy. We're living in a simulation for real.
He's one of those guys that I didn't expect him to look like he does because of his voice. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the old joke from the Budweiser commercial when you finally learn what your favorite radio DJ actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're always fucking ugly.
Yeah, always, dude. That's why we got the good voices. It's because we're butt ugly.
Well, Mark Claire's a good-looking guy. I wasn't expecting him to look that way, and a very drawable face. Some people are like, they just like come out real easy, like him and what's the other? Adam Kokesh.
Drawable faces. Huh.
Yeah, literally drew himself. What's going on, Tim?
Welcome back.
Robot AIDS. Deep burp. Beep boop.
Okay, C3 or R2D2.
Tim is joining the transhumanist movement.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Hit fucking you, dude.
So I'm telling you, man, cyberpunk dystopia.
Joey had a pretty good question. If China moves on Taiwan, do we get involved? And like, I'm gonna go the Scott Horton route here. Like, how do you want to get involved? Because what all does that entail, right? A war with China, the second largest superpower in the world.
Yeah, and they end up taking fucking Taiwan anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's right there.
I'll play devil's advocate again. Oh, go ahead, Mitch. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, from what I've heard so far, it seems like Taiwan is at least getting some backing from Japan and places, as much as I hate to say this, Australia.
Via antiwar.com, U.S. troops deployed to Taiwan for at least a year. That's today on antiwar.com, or yesterday on antiwar.com. I don't know how many, but they're being moved there.
I'll tell you why I support it. It's better that they're there than here. It fucking freaked me out when we ended the war in Afghanistan, even though I have all these end the war shirts and all that stuff.
Fuck you, Rob.
We ended the war and then immediately started a war on COVID and the unvaccinated here. So I was like, fuck, dude. Like maybe they should stay over there a little longer, because the last thing I want, I mean, in New York City, this is one of the places that you could lock down with martial law. You know, in the city at least, you shut down a couple of bridges and that's a wrap.
Oh,
yeah. You're not getting around New York City if you shut down a couple of bridges.
Yeah, I shut down the Verrazano, the Whitestone,
GW.
Yeah, the RFK, and that's it. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 bridges, and they already own them. So
that's the thing that I noticed the one time I went to New York, man. That place is it's a totally different type of city than many of the other ones that I've been to.
Stay on the China train though. I want to go around.
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, I just want to make
But as far as Taiwan goes too, like honestly, with what you're saying there, the train of logic would follow. Like at least with Taiwan, you wouldn't be seeing the chaos of Afghanistan. You're dealing with the Chinese government. You're not dealing with,
bro.
The Taliban.
China's tactics in taking over things is a salami slice tactic. They're not ones to, full military force, right? Like they will in little things, like the Philippines, and when they took over the Philippines island in their EEZ in like 2016, right? They'll do stuff like that.
There is that, but dude, look at all the fucking problems they're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they're literally blowing up buildings because they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, their whole economic structure can't support all them ghost cities anymore, and it's all their debts held at the municipal level, and eventually that's going to filter up to the state and the federal level, and then when the fucking bottom goes boop on them, that's when they're going to try and run over Taiwan because it's a distraction at that point. You know, and reality is, you know, honestly, fuck them. Let them take Taiwan. That's not my fucking island. It's not my fucking problem. Like, you know, and it'll bring trade back, in my opinion, back to the U.S. Yeah, it might be a couple dollars more, but fuck it. You know, that puts that internal trade power back in the U.S.'s hands. Because now while China and Taiwan are fighting over fucking who's got the bigger dick in the fucking South China Sea, we're over here going, oh, yeah, China's not making your shit. We got you. Oh, Taiwan's not producing your shit. Yeah, we got you. But let's get back, you know, and America's going to get back to, hey, let's make fucking money again.
Mm-hmm. That's what needs to happen.
Are you saying that on a industry level, you would like to make America great again?
Oh, bro.
America never stopped being great. That was one of the worst campaign slogans I've ever heard in my life. Show me on the fucking doll where America stopped being great. Go ahead. I'll wait. Where the fuck did this country stop being the fucking world's largest economic superpower? Who the fuck's going to really militarily fuck with us? Anybody in the world who wants to come over and try and nut tap us gets fucked up, something significant. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Syria. Look at Libya. Gaddafi looked at us the wrong way, and we had fucking CIA ops sticking a fucking AK in his asshole.
Yeah, but look at the price we paid for that.
Yeah, and the price is going to be a lot higher. Price is going to be a lot higher with China.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it, but they don't care about us. That's the thing. We're paying for it. The ones at the top of the food chain, they don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. It's all fun and games to them. They don't give a shit about any of us. Us down here in the unwashed masses, you know, at the bottom of the bin, they don't give a fuck about us. We're just fucking, you know, cash cows. They just need to milk us to keep doing what they're doing. We're tax cattle.
But look, it'll flow to them too eventually, because if things are abrupt. If things are abrupt with China and we stopped doing trade with them abruptly, like take, for example, this whole COVID thing. How fucking fast did we run out of toilet paper and masks because China produced fucking toilet paper and masks and people freaked out, right? So all of our factory jobs are from China. We're gonna have to have some sort of infrastructure where people are working here and having like these cheap labor jobs here first before we do anything like go to war with China, who also has space lasers, by the way. It's not like the fucking Taliban. They have a literal space lasers.
If I could just be black pilled here for a second, I do want to point out, well, black pilled and white pilled at the same time, with what I was telling you about with the China being in dire straits in many areas. Yeah, that's another thing. You're talking about all these things being produced in China. Look on the back of a lot of stuff that you're getting now. The great majority of it is coming from Vietnam, not China.
And I support that. I do. But then that goes to say, like, okay, well, China thinks the whole South China Sea is theirs, right? So these other countries, regional countries like the Philippines, like Vietnam, they need to start stepping up and doing more to have, like, keep that free trade going in the South China Sea.
Look at all the different geopolitical factions that have major things to deal with China. You have an entire government that's in exile from Manchuria that exists purely out of an embassy in Thailand. You have Tibet, which, you know, the Dalai Lama and his people would love to go back home. You have the Uyghurs, you have Hong Kong, and then you have Taiwan. I'm sure there's probably many other groups and factions that exist within all this stuff, but there's a lot of moving elements, and those are just the ones that I've kind of looked into.
So are you saying China goes back to being what it used to be anciently throughout all the history of China, right? It's just warring factions.
Kind of, but considering the modern world, it'll be interesting to see how it develops. But like all these different factions, you know, even then, a lot of them don't necessarily get along. Like you think
China.
Well, what do you think? What do you think America is going to be?
Right.
Is it going to be any different?
No, and I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing when you have factions, right? I would be so happy if Florida kind of seceded and they were like friendly secession, and if the Tibetans got their land back and they were able to do, who just shit in the mic?
Let my homie the Dalai Lama go home.
Who just shit right in their mic, bro. Yeah, like it's not a bad thing. My thing is,
communism sucks, right?
Yeah, communism sucks.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Yeah, my thing is you don't want to go to war.
So China's not a fucking threat. They don't matter. What are they going to do? Come over here? No,
but it's not even like full on communism anymore.
They got a space.
It's the communist.
They can't even build buildings that stand up on their own.
Right. Well, that's government concrete, so it's only going to last about 5 years anyway. But like, if you have,
they literally, China is literally causing the panda to go extinct. If you think about it, if they would just let people come in and factory farm that shit. No, they actually charge. No, like that's another thing that I'm talking about.
Factory farming pandas out here?
Yes.
No,
not factory farming. Wrong word. But you get what I'm saying. To legalize things like farming and stuff like that.
Kind of being pandas.
I mean, I'm not even joking. Look how much China charges.
That's how we're going to
zoos to just have a panda. Like,
no, you make a great point though. Chickens aren't going to go extinct. Chickens will never go extinct ever.
That just goes to show you how China tries to have a stranglehold on everything and how they just fail at it. I'm with Tim, is what I'm trying to say.
So China isn't even like fully communist anymore, right? Like they have
it's fascist.
It's fascist because since the 1970s, after Deng Xiaoping, the U.S. started being like, okay, we don't want to be straight up enemies, so we're going to give you guys a little bit of business, and then big corporations started going over there, right? And my thing about China is the way to combat them is bring jobs back and then stop bombing other countries or stop going into other countries with bombs. Start going in with briefcases because that's what China does. They go in with briefcases and then it's kind of like the mob. It's like whenever we ask you for a vote on the World Health Organization, vote with us because we give you all this money because we're running the Silk Road, the modern Silk Road through your country now. That's what the United States needs to do and not worry if Africa wants to legalize gay marriage, right?
Yeah, it seems like America too tried to. I think the reason why we left all those weapons in Afghanistan is to kind of bait some kind of conflict with China
too.
If they come in there.
For sure.
Me too, man.
Yeah, but the Chinese are probably a little too smart for that.
And I have another theory too.
Oh, we're so smart.
I mean, I'm sort of on the same page with that. It's either that or, you know, a lot of the weapons that ended up being used in the Libyan's civil war, taking out Gaddafi, ended up getting sent to Syria. What if a lot of the weapons we left there end up just getting sent to the Uyghurs? Because the Taliban, Uyghur Muslims, like that just seems to line up to me.
According to Scott Horton, in some of his books, the U.S. has funded like Uyghurs for sort of that purpose, right?
Yeah.
That's why they gotta die.
Bro.
Damn. According to the Chinese government.
Oh, those will be the next motherfuckers we're at war with.
Yeah, look at who we're funding right now, right?
I just wanted to make sure my mic still works.
Yeah, it works. That one hit hard. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that one was a heavy hitter, bro.
Spicy take.
Very
Spicy.
spicy.
Not for everyone. This podcast is not for everyone.
Let's go get a ghost pepper.
The China thing, I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent to it. I don't really give a shit. We have too many problems going on here to be worried about whatever the fuck they're doing. So
it's the influence, though, right? Because they have so much of an influence over our culture right now, especially like
Hollywood.
I don't care.
Hollywood,
It's a distraction,
and it is a distraction. I agree.
A distraction, but it plays a role in what we were talking about earlier with the culture.
Yes, it does. Exactly, Mitch. Like, if I'm not able to buy an NBA jersey,
if we got our
that says
shit
free
together,
Hawk,
they wouldn't matter.
You guys still watch the NBA?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't. Yeah, and
Okay,
it's not out of protest. It's
team,
because
that's about it.
it's not because I'm protesting China. It's because I'm racist. So.
Yeah, same.
We do it.
I don't even watch baseball anymore, and I was a college baseball player. I fucking love baseball. I can't.
Can't we
do
find
it
like
anymore.
another league to support? Like, no, like I'm serious. Like when I kind of got bored of pro wrestling with the WWE and shit, you know, I started looking outward to all the other competitors like Ring of Honor and TNA and shit. Like, well, why don't we do something similar? Like, come on, there's got to be a minor league that deserves our support.
Yeah, where's the AEW of the MLB?
That's what I'm saying.
There's tons of semi-pro leagues, right? And
yeah,
they don't do too well, like
They're
the
out
AAF. The AAF that
well,
happened.
I mean, you know, they tried to do the XFL.
It's just because they're not on ESPN. Protest them.
On ESPN.
Report it online.
Yeah.
I seen you on
online.
ESPN.
Fuck, who needs cable? Just do everything on the internet.
Remember when ESPN was
You're
good?
talking about changing the culture.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I am.
You're talking about changing the culture. Well, then why not just like instead of doing a college extravaganza on college football that ports directly into the NFL, why don't you do these third-party organizations instead and cover them and how exciting they are?
Because that's my little bit of hypocrisy that I enjoy, right? It's hard to be a libertarian and super consistent. It's kind of like the socialists who have like smashed
You gotta
capitalism.
live in the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tim, that's basically what I did though with pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ring of Honor, man. Eventually AEW came around.
I'm not trying to call you out.
You're
I've
just
been
saying that's
drinking
what
while
most
I've been trying
people
to get this
normally do.
fucking connection working.
Pro wrestling is like, it's a performing art. I can go be the best pro wrestler, and it really depends on how many people sell out the fucking venue.
They took their
I don't
dubs.
care where fucking Wayne Gretzky, LeBron James, or goddamn Babe Ruth plays. They're still going to be the greatest of their generation. They can play in fucking America, China, the NBA, the NFL. It don't give a shit. Certain people are just going to be dominant athletes.
Yeah,
So, if you want to look at it.
That's like the difference between UFC and Bellator, you know?
Yeah.
I watch Bellator. I'm a huge UFC fan, but the talent level is like, that's just where they flock to. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Talk to
If
Mighty
anything,
Mouse.
what we-
Talk to
anything we
Mighty
would-
Mouse, bro.
No, Mighty Mouse got knocked out in ONE FC, but that was kind of a
I
weird.
think that's a good point. Anything that we would present would basically just be Bellator to UFC.
Maybe even worse. It would be WCW to like, yeah.
It's the XFL to the NFL.
Yeah, but the people do need bread and circus. That's a rough term to say. They do need. It's just really hard for me to watch it now. Like that last year, the opening game for the Yankees, they had like a BLM on the mound, and I'm like, I'm out. Just turn the shit off. And my dad was gaslighting me the whole time. He's like, "Why are you always thinking about politics?" I was like, "It's literally politics on the back of the mound. I can't do it."
And
Bugs everywhere.
that's why we're here, because it's like normies don't see that shit. It's like, do you realize how far this shit has permeated into our culture? It's reached places where it shouldn't even be. ESPN.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yo, hold on. You want to talk about places it shouldn't even be? It's reached fucking kids' schools. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's as deep as it's gotten. 6, 7, 8-year-olds are being affected by this shit.
Yeah. What did you think was going to happen with government schools?
Yeah, but tough. I want to hear what you were trying to say there, real quick.
Yeah, I was talking to my boy Patrick, and I'm like, all right, clearly this is leading into climate change, this kind of stuff. I'm getting your channel banned here, but but I was like,
let's go.
I said, hey, I said, would you like? What's preferable? What's more preferable to you if you can have this whole COVID shit with the way the propaganda has been like just cranked up to 11, or let's say we move into climate change where they tax us for everything and we've got to pay all this stuff, but at least they tone down the propaganda so that I can enjoy some of my fucking bread and circus again. I said, what would you choose? It's like that Matrix moment where the guy takes the steak, he knows it's fake, but he's like, it's good. Well, what is your point where you can get back to some level of distraction or sanity, or is there no point for you guys? What do you think?
Property taxes.
I guess I'll go. I think we're in it too. Yeah. All of us. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I think all of us are like in it way too deep now to just close our eyes to it.
It's such a hard
property
thing to
taxes.
Think about.
Get the fuck off
that's
my
one
lawn.
thing, but we're talking about like cultural things in many ways.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I think you're making me think of like everything that has happened in the past year, with everything culturally significant. Yeah, and that's kind of like maybe I should just do podcasts on it or some shit to cypherpunks, but like culture, just seeing everything fucking turn the way it's from Star Wars to fucking everything else. Like, as you were saying, the MLB, like everything has, like, I hate to use this word because it just feels so played out at this point, but just woke, and everything just seems to be like not any of the classic stories that anyone is into.
Well,
I don't see where the way back exists until someone comes out with something better that people can remind people what makes a good story and what makes good art, what makes good culture.
Here's a better question. Is there if you can take a pill and just have like a night or two where you can go back and let's say you can go watch Hamilton without saying, oh, that's actually not how history went.
Aaron Burr did nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can go out with a bunch of your normie friends and just forget about that for a night or maybe a week or whatever it is, would you do it? Is there a way? Because there's a certain amount of pressure that I feel like I'm carrying around with me constantly, because I'm like, my friends that enjoy certain things, I'm like, that's fake. This is gay. Let me tell you about this or that. Like, I can't enjoy anything anymore. Is there a way where you can go back? You say, I know this steak is fake, but I'm just gonna chop it up and eat it for a night.
I've been there for years, man. Like, this is all like, that's why I was saying, like, everybody's like, oh my God, this and that's happening. Like, it's always been doing that. Like, I don't know why you guys are finally taking the fucking blinders off and seeing this shit. Like, I've been black-pilled on the culture for years. Like, I had a conversation with a customer at work today because I work in sales. I'm like, we lost the culture 20 years ago. I was a little kid when the culture got lost. You know, they fucking, you got grown-ass men wanting to be girls now. You got girls wanting to be men now. You got a whole fucking society who's just caught up on, wanting to be, flashy and fly and have swag. What does my fit look like? Social media, like I tell them all the time, social media is the fucking antichrist, man. People are so caught up on trying to have 15 minutes of fame that they can't be normal fucking people anymore. Mm-hmm. So no, there's no going back for me because I was never there anyway. I rejected this fucking culture 15 years ago and was like, this is all bullshit, man. Where are all these fucking kids that I grew up with talking about, man, I want to be an individual and anarchy and, man, fight the man. Now all these same kids are like, get the vax. Fuck my wife. Please.
I mean, that's where I'm fucking confused, because I remember hanging out with people in Sunrise, because that's where I'm from in Florida, or at least a good portion of my life. And there was a lot of like fuck the system among a lot of the people who I interacted with at the various colleges in the or not college, high schools in the area. And I see some of the shit that some of them post now, and I gotta wonder, like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, I'm almost positive that everyone only liked Ron Paul because he was pro legalizing weed or decriminalizing, but like it's like none of those ideas resonated. I mean, a lot of them just became Bernie people. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's where you sorted out
dude.
the libertarians from the fucking libertines.
Dude, back in the day,
I was one of the libertarians.
There was some legit like good leftists, you know, up in New Jersey, up in New York. There was some people that were left leaning, but were actually sane. You know, nowadays anybody who's left leaning, I mean, we've all seen it happen throughout our lifetimes, where people that were here just kept on going, and I mean, they just went completely insane.
They're fucking eating J.K.
To the point
Rowling.
that they're simping for the government, you know?
Like they eat their own.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that was a test for you guys, because sometimes I do look at it and I see like, I'm like, hey, these guys are having a good time, but I'm like, oh, yeah, I really don't want to be a part of it. I don't miss this shit at all. Like I never, like how Josh said, I never really did belong. I kind of like, if I wasn't that crowd, I kind of put on a face, but it was always something that didn't sit right with me. So I'm like, yeah, there's no ever going back to this, man. But it's like, it's such a weird feeling. Like then what's next? You know, what comes next for my children? Or yeah, I have no idea. I have a feeling that
White pill, man, it's whatever you want it to be.
we birth a new renaissance.
The white pill is like Tom Woods 2000, where people like us can congregate and kind of just create that culture together and be chill because everyone's on the same frequency. But in life in general, that's just not the case. Literally no one in my state is thinking like this. So it's like,
yeah, you know, I'm the crazy guy that whenever one of my sales guys is like, you know that this and this is happening, you know, I'm the crazy guy that's behind the desk saying, yeah, it's because of the fucking government and blah blah. I'm the guy that's always just jumping in and blaming the government for whatever problems they have.
Tim, go, and then we're gonna go around and get final plugs for the night.
Yeah. So, okay, great, cool. I get the last question. Top, when are you moving to Florida?
Explain this while you were having fucking AIDS.
hopefully before Christmas.
When?
Yeah, hopefully before Christmas.
Hopefully before Christmas.
Yeah.
No, because this is what we need to do. We need to come together. We need to congregate. We need to have our people around us so that we can fight back against the state. Fuck New Hampshire's Free State Project. They ain't got shit on the Florida, man. We're going to take this shit over, and we're going to run the fucking table on these fucking statists. Let's go.
Hey, man.
I think the Free State Project is awesome. Those people down there, like Ian Freeman and Jeremy Kaufman, all these dudes.
It's the right idea in the wrong location.
No, we need to have that everywhere. Like it worries me to have like so many great libertarians centralized in one spot where they could just like drone bomb them, God forbid, man, or some crazy shit. We need to have like a bunch of pockets of us like all spread out, and if we can do that in Florida, then let's do that in Florida. If we can do it in Texas, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, but I think it's the decentralization. So like to steal from Jeremy Kaufman, the idea of decentralization is very important in this movement, and it's important to the culture going forward, because you cannot have one entity controlling everything. We need to have like a million different factions kind of spreading the state as far as it can take it until it just dissipates. That's how I see it going. I hope.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
Right on.
thank you. I want to go around, give everybody a chance for one last plug on here. So, Top, want to start with you. Where can we follow you at? Where can we find what you're doing? All that fun stuff.
Yeah, you could follow me at Top Lobsta _ on Twitter, because I've been banned with my initial account for shit posting, and Top Lobsta with an A everywhere else. I've got toplobsta.com where you can get like t-shirts like this or the one that Josh is wearing. And I also opened up a Patreon where I'm still like, it's on the ground floor, but I have like goodies like wallpapers and shit like that. And certain tiers that escalate, you get like more discounts to the shop. And then one of the top tiers, I do a portrait or a profile picture, whatever you want. So that's where I'm at. And also check out Break the Cycle, man. I bust my ass and Josh busts his ass doing that stuff. So watch the show and, you know, show support to this show everywhere. Yeah.
Nice. Mitch, you got anything?
Yeah, I guess I'll hop in here. So yeah, go follow me on Twitter, CypherpunksCribe, and also check out my merch store because I got some other stuff. Just look up the Libertarian Frontier on TeePublic, or go check out the Proud Libertarian because I also have many designs on there that you won't find on TeePublic. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just go check out those two things.
Rich, Josh, me, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can follow me at maybe Richie Roma on Twitter. Even though that'll probably be banned by like next week, who knows? I've been I
need to pay more
spicy on that one too.
Josh, you're muted.
You're muted, Josh. Smith Malice 24.
Oh no,
it's fucking up. I'll go ahead and
Rob, your turn.
Yeah. So follow Luchadors of Liberty. All you you libertarian guys on here. We post like maybe once or twice a month now. I'm about to go on a hiatus here in the next like month or so, but we'll be back and hopefully we'll be lawyers of liberty soon because both the co-hosts, him and I, are both aspiring attorneys. So yeah. Check us out on the Higher Frequency Podcast Network. And also, since I'm in the LPF LAC now, Legislative Action Committee, call your representative. Tell them you want that the constitutional carry bill passed. They're going to be talking about it in committee next week. So I'm trying to call my representatives, call your representatives, if you're in the state of Florida, and say, we want this bill to not die in committee like it's done in the past.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Do you mind if I get my plug? Yeah.
Hey, so here's the question. If the host drops out, who ends the stream?
Well, I'm still hosting, so we're still good.
So good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't see you, so you're good. Go ahead.
It goes to democracy, which is gay, so then everybody drops out.
Yeah, that's
There we go.
So, yep. So for anybody who wants to, follow me on Twitter, HLAVKA 4 Florida. I want to proclaim my innocence at this time. I did not hack the Cathedral Caucus's Twitter page. That was not me. I am not guilty of interstate identity theft, regardless of what you may read on my Twitter page. These fuckers don't understand the law or the way the real world works, and there's some fat titty fucking bitches, and that's why they're doing this. So if you're wondering when you go on there why there's this nonsense on there, it's because some fat losers in like Delaware and Pennsylvania, got tired of circle jerking each other and coming on a nut. So they decided to fuck with us.
This is John Waldenberger. What are you talking about?
Hey, hold on.
Walden
Whoever,
yeah, fuck him.
Hey, real quick, whoever runs the Cathedral Caucus page, they consented to getting titty twisters at Reno. So by all means, if you know who runs the page, let me know because I plan on giving them a titty twister, and they've already consented. So jump in and hand out some titty twisters at Reno. All for it. Can we make a t-shirt titty twister for Reno or something? I don't know. Purple Nurple for Reno.
He does have some fat titties,
2022.
Waldenberger does have some big old titties, though.
Yeah, you do.
That's for sure.
All right, boys. Anything else anybody wants to plug?
Yeah, I'm going to end the show by saying thanks for Top Lobster for coming on. We love all your artwork. Huge fans. Can't wait for you to be a resident of Florida so you can join the Florida Mises Caucus. Yeah. We're going to be coming after you, so get ready. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Follow us everywhere at Real Swampcast. We got some guests lined up. We got DL Cummings coming on. We've got Karen Ann Harlow's coming on. We've got a bunch of others that are lined up. Stay tuned to the channel. Stay tuned to the Twitter. We'll see you every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Top.
Have a great night, everyone.
Hey, thank you, Lobster.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm going
guys.
to drop my Twitter in the chat here.